It's decreased our stream quality, but we'll see what we get tonight. So our goal tonight is to talk all about making some money. This was our goal to get to a couple of weeks ago, and we never got past budgets, which is okay. So we're going to get there tonight. In terms of making money, this is kind of a really broad topic. There's just so many options, and we could go big, we could go little, we could be looking for, you want to make the amount of the grocery budget, you want just a little extra $50 a week, or we could be talking a completely second job that maybe even becomes your full-time job. It really is a super broad topic. So in that, I'd love to know what your tips are. What are some things that you've done that have brought in some extra money, that has become a great side business or side hustle for you? For everyone to chime in on that is always helpful. So, whatever you guys have done, I would love to hear it. And I'm going to share lots of ways that you could get active in making some extra money as well as we go through. So again, sorry for being late on getting started. I've literally been sitting here and watching a little circle spin as it's been trying to upload. We've been here. You just couldn't see us. So we're going to dive right in, and we may run over a little bit just to try to get everything in that I wanted to cover tonight. If you've got questions that are on or off topic, I'm okay with that. Leave them in the comments, and between myself or my husband, one of us will see them, and I will try to make sure that I get you an answer. So hello, everyone that's already joining us. Sarah from Virginia and Karen from Florida. Everyone that's along the East Coast, I hope you're staying dry tonight. I know there's been a lot of rain. Watching my in-laws in Georgia today. We're just kind of really super overcast, but hopefully everyone's good. Okay, so to dive right in, before we go to jobs, there's something I want to touch on, and I mentioned this in a really long post on the child tax credits, but this is a huge way to be bringing in extra money every pay period that a lot of folks are missing. And so just to start here, because this isn't a job, this isn't going to take more than 20 minutes of your time, but could mean literally a lot of extra money in your paycheck every pay period. So wanted to go to your taxes first. And in terms of this, literally guys, I know it doesn't seem like making extra money, but if I am having less withheld, I'm not overpaying on my taxes. Yes, you get a refund at the end of the year, but think about that on a weekly paycheck basis. If you do this right, this is significant extra money in your pocket. So please, I've given my husband the link. He's going to stick it in the comments. You should be using this free tool from the IRS to sit here and estimate your withholding. And you should do this every year. But I don't just mean down to like, okay, these are our set numbers. I actually want you to play with this because it will let you. So you can literally sit here and go back and forth between any of these numbers that you want. I can fill in this information. And if I don't like the results, I can come back and play. And so we've done this with our withholding. What happens if I put this much in the 401k in terms of our taxes? Or we open an HSA. What does that do to our taxes? And so you can sit here and you can play with this. So you can say, oh, I get paid every 2 weeks, my most recent pay period. Let's just put it at the beginning of the month. Make up some numbers. You expect to make $45,000 this year. You're going to put in how much you've already received. It's going to walk you through this. So get your most recent pay stub so that you'll know how much has already been withheld, because that's the next question down here. But these right here, this is the big one, guys. I'm going to zoom in just so you can make sure you see it. These are the two that I want you to play with. So when it spits out the results in the end, if you said no to a 401k or no to an HSA, come back, say yes, put in a little bit of money, see how that affects the end result on your taxes and how much needs to be withheld. Because seriously, for some of you, I'm not going to say this is going to work for everybody, but for some of you, it really is going to be, oh, I could pay this much in taxes, or I could put that exact amount in savings. And it's going to be magical for you. Now, why is it going to be magical? This is where I'm a little bit of a tax nut. Because you actually may be crazy close to like a big bump down number. and you just don't realize it. You may be right there at a number that's actually going to completely remove your tax liability if we just bring down our income a tiny, tiny bit. And I guess bring this back up. These two numbers, they do that. And you may not realize it, but that 401k contribution or that HSA contribution, as well as your insurance that's coming off of your income, those are all pre-tax numbers. So if I do put money into a 401k or I do use an HSA or a FSA plan, which is a flexible spending account, very different from a health savings account, if you take part in those, it's literally like the government says, oh, you didn't make $45,000 this year, you made $40,000 this year. They look at that end result number after you've put money in, and then they start to do the tax numbers on it. So you've got a significant way that you could be playing here, and you should be playing. Everybody should be coming in and filling out these numbers. So what I mean by this is steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have it zoomed in, so we lost the numbers, or we lost the words that were below this, but each step has a word below it. This is where you're going to get your results. If you don't like those, if it says, oh, you need to have $300 withheld every pay period, we'll come back to step number 2 and start playing again. Start seeing what could we do that may actually reduce this. Potentially, it could be amazing. It could be nothing. But this is literally 20 minutes of your time and could mean a significant amount back in your weekly paychecks because you've taken the time to do this right. I shared in that child tax payment post for us, we literally have nothing withheld. That would not be the case. If we just went with a basic form and we just filled in the basic numbers, it would withhold things. We would then get a very big refund next year. We have 5 kids, guys. That's how. Not saying you should go have 5 kids, but they are a tax incentive in a small way. They do cost money as well, but you get the idea. You just need to be taking advantage of that. So we're going to jump into jobs, I promise, and ways to make money, but this is a big one that really doesn't take a lot of time. As soon as you get those end results, you just hand them over to your HR department and they will plug them in and your next paycheck will be magically better. I promise, or hopefully. That's the goal, right? So just so we've, hit that one first off the bat, easy way to make money is by not letting the government hold on to it for you just to get it back next year. You didn't get interest on that, so don't go that route. Getting a big refund means you kind of played the game wrong. So let's play the game right and not give it to them in the first place. Have it every single month instead of getting it back in the end. Okay. So to dive into some ways to make money, not necessarily keeping your own money, but make some extra money. Hands down, the easy ways here. I actually was trying to answer some questions while I waited for the internet to come on that folks had sent me. The easiest way is to sell things online, and that was one of the questions I had was where can I be selling things safely? So, cleaning out the closets, getting rid of some old clothes, small kitchen appliances, things that are new if you've found them. Maybe your kids have never played with a toy, or you had some things that you got at a great deal and you want to try to sell them. There are ways to do that. This is an easy way. So the old standby eBay, still around, still a great place to sell things, as well as Facebook Marketplace. There are lots of apps that also let you do this. You need to use some wisdom. If you are going to sell things locally, where I'm going to meet up with somebody, that needs to be in a public place during daylight hours. People need to know where you are. I wouldn't even go by myself if you were really concerned about this. You have other folks with you. So use some wisdom on how you're going to handle that for local pickups, but hopefully you're also dealing with, kind of a small amount here. I don't know about the, $3,000 sale and how you want to handle that. I may meet in the sheriff's parking lot. That might be a very safe place to meet. They're fine with it. Our actual local sheriff's department actually has a parking space designated for anyone that is doing local meetups like that. So super, super safe option to meet locally. And yes, the person you're meeting may think, wow, this person's a little paranoid. Who cares? You're not ever going to meet them again, but you're safe and they're safe. You're taking both of your safety in hand by doing that. So be smart about it. And that's just an easy way to handle it. So that one off the bat, super simple. And we have done an entire Q&A in the past on how to sell online. So you can look at that one. There's a lot of tips out there too, how to get started. But I would encourage you, I'm going to actually do something I never do. I'm going to stretch up. Well, I guess I don't have to. I have all my homeschool here. I was sharing my little cart with you guys online, so I'm going to wheel this over. But seriously, guys, I would encourage you to think outside the box on everything that you have. So for me, as a homeschool mama, it is super easy because I get a lot of our curriculum from around the web. Humorously, this is a great example. I bought this one used. It has some other kid's name at the top. I don't care. They didn't do a single sheet that was in here, and this is now out of print. This is huge for me. I spent hours trying to find this. This is the struggle of 5 kids, because when we bought these for our now 16-year-olds when they were in 2nd grade, it wasn't out of print. That's a whole nother video. But this is a great option. So don't just think that it's appliances and things that everybody's hunting for. It's the rare things that people are hunting for that they are very willing to pay for as well. So if anyone by chance has Bob Jones Reading 3, I will pay you a fortune for it. I can't find it anywhere. Completely out of print. I decided 2 was so hard to find, I was just going to start working years in advance to find what I needed. So any curriculum, this is your key time. And I would encourage you, if you're, I'm going to put all these back so I know where they are when we need them, but I would encourage you to also think about, as you're selling things online, what is the time frame for that? When are people looking for this? Because that is going to greatly impact the amount of money that you make. So as you're thinking about what could I sell online, don't just go through your closets and throw it all online at the same time. Now, if you're talking sweaters and winter apparel, that's not where people are right now. So go seasonal, focus on seasonal, and sell those items. You're going to have a much greater likelihood of making more money focusing on what people are actually looking for right now. So curriculum, if you are a homeschool parent, it's a great time to be selling. The same, maybe you're not a homeschool parent, but you've got a graphing calculator that your kids don't need anymore. Now's the time. Put it up there. School supplies in general, this is a great time to be getting any of those items up online to sell. So, just thinking about what's in season is going to help you make some more money for sure. So to go beyond that, in terms of cleaning out our closets, I mean, we can all make a ton of money if that's where we want to go, but eventually your closets run dry. So other options, let's go small here, little bits of money at first. A favorite of mine is mystery shopping. I've shared this before. I'm going to have my husband stick a link into an old post, and you'll see the date is 2016 on the post, but I actually already clicked through a lot of these links, and they're all still good, I promise. One of those links is Bestmark. Bestmark is my favorite of all of the companies. There's a lot in my area that they run with. So I've done mystery shops through this company for free oil changes, plus getting paid, free tire rotations, lots of things to do with cars. They have, I think they really, if you own a Chevy, they've got a very big contract with Chevy dealerships all over the U.S. Kroger mystery shops, so you get some groceries in there. This isn't a way that you're going to get wealthy, but it is a way that if I'm already headed to Kroger, I'm going to have to grab a few key things that they're going to tell me to grab, and I'm going to fill in my form on how that went. A lot of times it's going to deli or having having a service done for you in one of those departments, even ordering a cake before, and then you're going to get paid. You're going to get $20, $25. They're going to tell you what that shop was worth before you went. So you'll know, is this worth my time? I'm not going to want to do this if it's $3 or $4, but it is something that can make you a little bit of money. There are also apps that now do this. So Mobi is an app that will do it, M-O-B-E-E. There's a lot of other apps that are out there that are mystery shopper-based apps. Here's my one huge do not do this moment for mystery shopping. Never pay to be a mystery shopper. Never pay to put yourself on a list for mystery shopping. It's free. Every company that is out there, they will not charge you if they are a legitimate company to be a mystery shopper. They need you. They want you as a mystery shopper. Do not pay to put yourself on a list. There are plenty of shops that are out there. As COVID is releasing and we're seeing restaurants reopen. This is actually, if anything, we're seeing more and more of these. These restaurants are wanting to know how things are going, how comfortable you are, how clean you felt the environment was. So there's even more mystery shops than we've seen in the past. And it could be a great way. We've done some date nights, completely paid for. And Longhorn, it was a pretty sweet date night, required us to get a dessert too. So like super fun date night, not just we'll get the water and we'll get the dinner and we'll leave. We had a blast, and it was completely paid for, plus extra money for filling in the form at the end. So again, I told you we were going to start small. This isn't I'm going to make a whole second income as a mystery shopper, but it is a way to get some of the things that you would have already been paid for, and a little bit extra in your pocket. So we've been doing that for years, and it's fun. Get to feel like you're a spy. I mean, everybody's wanted to do this since you were 4, so just enjoy the moment. It's a good way to have some fun and make a little bit of money. So another way that you can do this is surveys as well. There are a ton of survey companies that are out there. You're not going to make a ton here either, but you are going to make a little bit here and there. If you want to go survey route, I would recommend that you actually sign up for multiple companies because they all work with different companies. You're going to get a survey here, and you're going to get all different ones in your account at different times with these different companies. So as you go hunting, some of the big ones, Inbox Dollars is one, Pinecone Research is another big one, Branded Surveys is the third company. If I were to give you just top 3 of what we have worked with or that other people have mentioned it. And yes, Linda, it is MOBEE. I'm pretty sure I'm telling you that one right. Mobi app, and it's a free app that you can download that is a secret shopper app. So I'm going to pull up their website for you here too. And these guys are super sweet. I have to say I love it because they will actually share some of the deals on Instagram that I share. So why not give them some love back? But if you wanted to check it out, well, I'm not going to try to share that with you. My internet does not like me loading any web pages, so I'm not going to pull it up. But MOBEE is the name of that app. I know that it's on the iTunes store. I can't guarantee that it's on Google Play, but I'm hoping for you that it is. Okay, one other option. I already have this website pulled up. This is kind of in a way like surveys, but not. And this is becoming a UI tester. So user interface is what UI stands for. And you are literally going to get paid to test people's websites, to test people's apps. And it says out front, you'll get paid for $10. You'll get paid $10 for every test that you take. And a typical test takes 20 minutes. So usually they've given you a task that they want you to do on their app. We actually did this with the Southern Savers app when we were first building it. We got some of these companies give like 5 free tests. So me, I didn't want to pay for it. But were they capable of figuring out some key steps? Now, it was a little tricky for us because they weren't couponers and they weren't savers, but it did kind of tell us, oh, this is a big snag. They can't figure out where to go next. So that's the concept. $10 to do a 20-minute test. Obviously, you're not going to want to sit there all day long doing this, but it is some easy side money. So this website, again, we're going to stick the link in for this, but this is Try My UI is the name of the site, and you'll find a number of other companies that do the same thing. So you're basically like a website or app tester. There's a big market for this. People want to know that what they've developed works before they keep working on development and put even more money into it. So easy side money, as that, that's the category we're in, easy side money category. These are one of those. These are going to definitely help. Oh, and Wendy's chiming in and saying she's been selling on Facebook Marketplace and she's made over $3,000. She just went in with 2 girlfriends and they rented a booth at an antique emporium. They're all downsizing and have big furniture. So I think that's great, Wendy. That's awesome. And way to go on figuring out how to bring in some extra money as you get rid of some extra furniture. That's pretty awesome. Okay, so let me jump to a few questions really quick before we go further. I know I've seen a couple that have been off topic. Jessica, can I please explain the difference between shopping in CVS and shopping online? So the big difference, Jessica, is when you are going to buy a deal that is a specific dollar amount. So I'm not going to try to pull up my internet here. I'm just going to show you some pictures. And yes, I am going to do a drugstore video tomorrow, guys. I hobbled through CVS today and did Walgreens yesterday. I tried to break it up so that I could handle 2 days of less walking. But here we go. So if we're going to buy this deal, for example, and I'm going to zoom in so you can see the tag. This is a Tide product, but it's a buy $20 and get a $5 reward. So if you're going to do a deal like that in CVS online, that must be after coupons. And that's annoying. In store, that $20 purchase is before coupons. So basically, I would stay away from those types of deals, the buy a certain dollar amount kind of deal in an online order for CVS. I would just grab those in store if you want them. Any other deal, though, feel free to grab your buy 2, buy 3. Those are going to work great online. You're not going to have any issues with your coupons, and you're still going to get your extra care bucks like you wanted to. Hopefully that's fast, but an easy answer for you that kind of makes sense. I also saw a Walgreens question, I think. Trying to go through. Will I tell you how to find digital Target coupons? Walgreens is easy, but I've never used Target coupons. So this one's easy. Janelle, if you will go to circle.target.com or grab the Target app. So again, I'm not going to stress my internet. We'll just let my phone do it for you. But in the Target app, these are very simple to find. As the Target app loads, it is 3 down, Target Circle offers. That's what they call it. Circle has hundreds of store coupons, but it also has, they're store coupons and sales at the same time. So lots of 20% off, 15% off. I know that might be a little blurry, but you get the idea. 25% off Coca-Cola. I hope you can all take advantage of these. There's one for every brand of soda this week. But circle.target.com. It is kind of hard to find from Target's main website. I don't know why. They haven't made it a little bit more obvious. But in the app, it is right there on the home screen, 3rd down at the bottom, Target Circle. So hopefully that gets you there now. Okay, let's jump back into ways to make money. So the next one I love, this is actually where my big kids are. We have a ton of students around the world who all went online this past year. And a good percentage of them have decided to stay online. I love the numbers that I'm hearing. Now, we homeschool for a number of reasons, but there is a huge reason and that we would never go back from homeschooling. We've never not homeschooled, but we would never not homeschool. And that's the flexibility and the fact that we have so much more free time in our life. And I think there's a lot of students who realized the massive amount of free time when you take your class and you get to do your work on your own. So all that said, there's a huge opportunity for online teachers locally, like America-based, and internationally still. So China is back open, needing folks for teaching English to Chinese students. The big one there is VIP Kid and Education First. So if you've ever heard of these, VIP Kid, I already had a couple of these pulled up. We'll put in a URL to this one in particular. You will make, you start salary is $14 an hour up to $22 an hour. The only holdup here with the VIP Kid and the Education First, those are the 2 main companies for this. You're working with kids on the other side of the world. So the timing of these classes may not be ideal for you. At the same time, if you have a normal 9-to-5 job, they're going to be perfect for you because these are going to be in the very, very early morning hours before any American job is going to open up. If you want to teach locally, meaning in the U.S., there are still a lot of options for you. So a couple of websites to look for. Connections Academy. They're across the U.S. A lot of local school districts work with them. So in our area, if you wanted to homeschool through the school district online, you can. It's free for those students, but they still pay their teachers. So Connections Academy is a great one. My kids use my high schoolers use an online Christian school called the Potter's School. They're always looking for teachers as well. I've decided this is going to be my retirement job, teaching anatomy and physiology using my nursing degree. and teaching online high school classes, it's great. So look into it. If you have a skill, if you have knowledge of these things, they're always looking for folks to teach different classes. So we're not necessarily talking the English and the maths of the world. There's a lot of classes out there that high schoolers would love to take. If you've got skills in CAD design, or your husband has skills in CAD design. I actually saw in a Facebook group someone asking, begging, does anyone know where an online class is for this? Make one. Get creative and be that teacher. And there's a lot of folks that are doing that. So you will find a lot of open availability for that, just hunting for those positions. So teaching online, very easy. Another one on that, though, is that you could be a local tutor. So if you do have extra time, you have a background, maybe you've homeschooled your kids and they're grown now, or you were a teacher, both sides of that, reach out to the homeschool community. There are a lot of homeschool resource centers in various towns. Just Google the name of your town and homeschool resource center, homeschool associations, and say, you know what, I'm interested in being a tutor. Here's my information, and you will find that they will get you set up. Reaching even out on Facebook and telling folks, hey, if you're having a hard time teaching your kids math, I would love to step in and help. It's a great, easy way to make some extra money. You can even do these over Zoom potentially, so it doesn't have to be people that are in your own city. This is where you can put your entrepreneurial hat on and really think outside the box, as you can use the skills that you have to help other people, but to earn a little bit of money on the side. Okay, beyond education, because I know not everybody really wants to, rethink Algebra 2, depending on where you are in life. But there are some other ways to earn some extra money on the side. If you have some skills, if you love to do photography, if you love to do graphic arts, Fiverr and Upwork are great places to get some freelance work. Upwork in particular, you'll see that people actually post the jobs. So I could say, hey, I'm wanting a site redesign, and you can reach out and say, I'm interested. These are my skills. So you actually have jobs that are there on Upwork that you are going to be bidding against and see if you can get selected for. Fiverr is not necessarily your highly skilled folks, but you will see some easy work there on Fiverr as well. It's kind of a funny one. It's like the number 5 with 2 R's at the end. And Upwork is the other one. So I see my husband copying and pasting these to put these in the chat for you guys. So you'll have all these links. They're easy ways for someone who has some skills, though, to get some extra freelance work. So again, if you're a graphic design, coder, there's a lot there that you may be surprised about, even down to being a virtual assistant, meaning you can come in and help a website post all their deals to social media, or whatever it is, scheduling things out. Virtual assistant's a great job as well, and there's a lot of openings for those in today's world. This online easy way to get a side job just became even easier if you look at the silver lining behind everything. Now I mentioned if you've got some skills, and I've mentioned this one in the past when we've done this video, but you can actually sell artwork as well. So if you are a photographer, if you do have graphic skills and you're making fun t-shirts, there are great ways to sell those. Actually, the last time we did this Q&A, which was a year ago, I had a mom send me a message like a week later and said her teenager had put up some things on Teespring and Redbubble. Those are my 2 sites that I would recommend if you're trying to just sell some creative artwork. And that she'd already started to sell shirts that, it's awesome. If you've got a creative kid, this is a way that they can get going with no overhead. They just do the design. If the shirt sells, that company makes the shirt. How easy is that? Your kids don't have to worry about the supply chain in all of this. They just do the fun part, the design part, and then see if it sells. Now, obviously, because the company is doing most of the work there, the percentage paid to the artist isn't like you did the artwork so you get 90%. It's not how it works, but it is a way that they could make some fun money in selling their designs without having to know how to run their own website and own e-commerce system. I think it's awesome, and even for adults, but it's really, really awesome for a teenager that's got some crazy good skills to be able to get started in promoting those skills. So look into those. Etsy, guys, is also obviously an option. I have actually, for my kids this year, gotten 2 different things off of Etsy. I think I even have one of them right here in our little cart, hunting around for it. So just to show you, oh, no, where is he? Maybe I don't. Come here. Oh, right here. It's a suspense here. You have to wait for me to find it. This goes along with a homeschool co-op that we already do. Some mama got super smart. She wrote a book and she sells it on Etsy. Like, it's all of our geography. It goes through everything we're doing. Etsy, is there a deal on this? Probably not. But for me as a homeschool mama, she just did a ton of work that I don't need to do, figuring out little stories that go with our geography terms each week. Love it. All on Etsy. So if you've got some creative skills, you can think outside the box there too, and get those things in other places. So just giving you some ideas here. That's my goal. Just like a brain dump of ideas, probably. There's a lot as we go through. Let's see, kind of skipping along. If you've got some other tips that you guys have done, I'd love to hear them as well. Kind of skimming through, making sure I'm not missing anybody. Any homeschool teaching online that I can recommend in El Paso, Texas. So Little Turtle, I don't, it depends on what you're looking for. Connections Academy would be in the Texas area as well. I know Potter School, my kiddos have friends that live in Texas. So it depends on what you're hunting for when you're looking into online schools for your kiddos. So for us, we homeschool, yes. And this is all the stuff for my younger kids. But my older kids, in a way, we kind of don't homeschool. They really go to an online private school because our goal was for them to be able to take dual enrollment and AP courses, which a homeschool mama is not legally allowed to provide. College Board runs all of AP, and they require that it be taught by a teacher that they have agreed to teach the class. So they don't allow homeschoolers to do it. So we had to look in other options so that they could get those dual enrollment and AP courses, which to me, long-term, is saving us a ton of money versus having to pay for those courses on a college campus. So, there's give and take there. But that is why we ended up online and why we ended up at the Potter School, because they offer those courses. Connections Academy also offers those courses, so you could do that. And if your school district is with them, is partnered with them, it's going to be free for you, so that's an option. There are a lot of others. Wilson Hill is another one that I've heard great reviews about. If you're hunting around and looking for online schools, Big River Academy, Excelsior, there's a lot. Just Google online homeschool courses, and that'll help you just individually or online high school, and you'll find a lot there too. It really is a very big movement, and in terms of getting some extra money, a very good opportunity for a lot of people to jump in if you know anything, if you're able to teach any of those classes. Okay. To jump back to a few other questions, is there a good place to find rebates and rebates in general? So Teresa, it's a great question and kind of a hard one. So we don't have a ton of just basic mail-in rebates the way that we used to. As I find them, I try to put them in the database on Southern Savers. So you can go to Southern Savers and just type in the word online rebate and see what pops back. I know right now there's free Snuggle after an online rebate. There's a free Bic Razor after an online rebate. And then we get a lot of those activate my reward type rebates. There's one for Johnson & Johnson, Aveeno, Neutrogena right now. I'm trying to think of all the different ones that pop in, but those are the ones that are coming off the top of my head. In terms of other like Try Me free rebates, honestly, I would do some Googling and just see what you can find. There used to be some great websites that's all they did was keep track of rebates. But that the whole mail-in rebate thing has kind of gone away as big as it used to be 10 or 15 years ago. Okay. And Shannon, I left a question on the child tax credit post, hoping you could answer it sometime this week. It's not about taking the monthly credit. Okay, so Shannon, I will go and hunt that and see if I can answer it for you. I'm not going to try to pull it up right now, but I will try. Or if you want to leave your question again, I will be glad to answer it live. I don't ever mind talking taxes. It really is kind of a weird thing that I enjoy, but be glad to help you if that's specifically your question. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry you guys are having trouble with the video. We're trying to see if it's making it any better. Diana's saying it's better. I don't know. I'm afraid to switch over to a different internet that I might lose you guys. But we'll see. If you want after the fact, I know Facebook will save it, and then hopefully we won't have any glitches. I can always upload the saved version that I have on my computer too and try to replace it if it does have glitches after the fact. Let's hit a few more things. Shipped Instacart. They are actually still hiring for delivery drivers. Now, when COVID first hit, they actually kind of had a glut of them. There were too many. A lot of folks weren't getting jobs, but a lot of those folks have stopped being delivery drivers. And so it's a good time for you to pick up and do this on the side. I have a good friend who also has 5 children, and she and her husband both have picked up being shoppers for Shipped, upwards of over $1,000 a month that they're earning. Now he's picking up jobs on his way home from work and on his way into work, and she's picking up jobs when she has some spare time with, getting kids in the car or in between activities with kids. That's awesome. They're both doing that. So I think that $1,000 is with them combined. I'm not going to, sit down and ask for their detailed income, but that's just from her sharing. Obviously, that's a number of shops to be able to do that, but the more you get, the higher your rating is, the more shops you're also going to have available to you. So getting into that line of work, DoorDash, Shipped, Instacart, they're all still hiring. And that one really is, as you have availability, you say you're free, you turn on the app and you let it send you shops and you go and do them. So pretty simple in terms of working around your schedule with those. And the more you're available, obviously, the more money you're going to make. But they are still there and still hiring drivers. I think a lot of folks felt like that one was full, that one was done, and so many people went into that mode last year. But a lot of those folks aren't currently driving. And there are still a ton of folks that have gotten very used to online ordering and same-day delivery. So you get to be in that system. And remember with Shipped, you're actually going to get Target orders. You're going to, Target's working directly with some of these grocery stores. That's all they work with. So you are going to have a good stream of orders coming through. Oh, and Lynn, great comment. She said, be careful because your personal auto insurance does not cover a delivery business. So if you do a delivery business, I'm guessing you're going to need to get a business plan, a business insurance policy for your car in that sense. And you are kind of, an independent contractor. So going in and getting that, it can count as a business deduction for you. So as you have your earnings, you get to write some of those things off. But make sure that you are being smart about it for sure. Donna's chiming in and saying if there's a plasma center nearby, you can earn money and save lives while you donate. I love that. Yes, plasma, you can donate every 6 weeks, and a lot of those centers, they pay significant. You're not going to get paid for blood donations, but you will get paid for plasma donations. Okay, and so your question, Shannon, if I don't take it monthly, will I receive the full amount at tax refund time? We always get a return and have 2 kids. So great question. So let's go child tax credit here for a second. Yes, if you don't take the monthly payment, you will get all of it on your tax return at the end of the year. So let me try to break this down. Last year, 2020 taxes, you got $2,000 per kid off of your taxes at the end of the year. If you got a refund, let's say that you didn't owe that much, you could get $1,400 of that back in cash. $600 of it was gone. This is a credit. So it was like $2,000 per kid off of what you owed. If you didn't owe enough, you only owed $700, then it would take off the $700 and you would get $1,300 back in cash. That was using the child credit last year. This year, it's $3,000 a kid, and the full amount can come back to you as cash. So if you end up owing taxes at the end of the year, or your final numbers come down and they say, oh, you owe $3,000 on this line item, and then you get to factor in your child tax credit of $3,000, you now owe nothing. Now, a lot of us that got tax refunds last year, your refund was because of your child tax credit. So taking the monthly credit this year is potentially going to be very painful. And that was my warning on that post. And that again, as we go to this tax withholding calculator, this is all you need to play with. Now, a big warning, since we're in child tax credit mode here, a big warning on the kids, and I don't know if I can come here and play because I haven't entered everything, but when you enter your dependents, and I've kind of already, I started playing around, when you enter your dependents here, number of dependents, and then you come to deductions, it's going to ask how many of those dependents are the right age, and it is not factoring in the new number. So it's factoring in $2,000 per child. It's factoring in last year's numbers. So you really have an extra $1,000 coming back to you this year, which is huge. So as I talk about adjusting your withholding at the beginning of our Q&A, you should do that. So for us, for example, as I played with this, trying to figure out what we needed to do, what our withholding needed to be, because it is factoring in $2,000 and not $3,000 like it should be. I don't know why the IRS is a little slow on this one, but it is based on last year's tax code. Because it's factoring in $2,000 per kid times 5 kids for us, that would be $10,000. This year, and it's $3,600 if you've got anyone that's under the age of 6. We don't have anyone that's that age anymore. So for us, that would be $15,000 this year. So I actually put in that we had 7 kids. It's the closest I could get. I can't put in 7.5 kids. So I put in 7 kids so that I could see the full child tax credit showing up at the end result over here. So just think about that. I know it's math, figuring out the difference between, if you've got 2 kids, that would have been $4,000 last year. It's $6,000 this year. So put in that you have 3 kids. That makes sense. And you'll be able to play with that and you'll be able to see what it looks like. Now this is not going to consider that you took a monthly payment. So if it comes out being 0, but you took a monthly payment, you don't get the whole $3,000 at the end. You got half of it up front. I know this is a lot like taxes, so I'm going to jump out of this topic because I know I lose folks, but I do want you to realize last year's taxes had $2,000 fully factored in. This year you do have an extra $1,000, but you're going to take $1,500 in payments, so you're actually going to get hit by that extra $500 per kid that you had applied last year and you would not have applied this year. That's the biggest change, just so folks kind of get it. And you do need to opt out ASAP if you plan to opt out because those payments are going to start in like 2 weeks for most folks. So we have already opted out just because it would significantly affect our taxes. Okay, and my husband's already commented, remember, I am not a certified public accountant. I just enjoy taxes. So, I am not telling you one way or the other. You need to play with that calculator yourself and see where you want to be. Alma, best place to get prescription glasses. This was actually us, Alma, 2 weeks ago. So I have a kiddo that needed glasses. At the doctor's office, I said, yeah, go ahead and tell us how much using our insurance that would be. We do have a cheap eye insurance plan, $250 or something for pretty basic glasses. She does not have a bad prescription. Hop online, Alma, because there are so many places. So I even played around with a few of the places that do accept our insurance online. None of them could I get down to the price that I could from some other places. So we've actually ordered glasses from Zenni a few different times. I have a pair of Zenni. 2 of my kids have Zenni glasses as well. So in a sense, you could say we're kind of loyal there, but their prices are crazy, crazy cheap. So it's Zenni. They have frames that start at like $6 and their lenses start at 10. So we can get out the door for $20 a kid on brand new glasses. Prescription glasses, they've held up great. We've not had any qualms with them. And they do run some coupon codes from time to time. Another reason that I use Zenni is they do offer some discounts. So they have a 10% discount for military, nursing, teachers. So kind of go hunting and see if you qualify for any of those. There are other sites that do this too. Glasses USA always runs 50% off or buy one, get one codes. Always cheaper than getting glasses from local places. Sorry if you own a local prescription glass company, but $250 for a kid who needs basically reading glasses. She's like a little old lady and she's 13. I am not paying that much for a pair of reading glasses that just has a small astigmatism with it. I know I could get them from the drugstore too, but we were trying to get what she needed with the astigmatism, and they were $20 from Zinni. So hands down, that is my favorite by far. Okay, to move on and hit some other places. And oh, good. Stacy says both of her daughters order from Zinni and love it as well. Mindy's chiming in with iBuyDirect. And iBuyDirect does have some good deals as well right now. I know they were running 40% off of blue light glasses. I actually just posted that deal earlier this morning. Or blue light lenses is what iBuyDirect is currently offering. That's not with prescription, but you could still be out the door for like $24 on iBuyDirect. So still some very, very inexpensive places to go for glasses. And Lynn is chiming in that she tried Sam's. So her husband needed bifocals, and one place it gave her between $400 and $600. They tried Sam's, and the price was $192 for progressive bifocals. So that's pretty awesome too, to be saving. You just saved over half, if not almost 60% off of them on that high price. Okay, let's hit a few other fun jobs here. I know we started late, so we'll just keep on going. I'm okay with that. We talked about selling online. One other thing to consider is actually doing the Airbnb and VRBO. We had dinner with our neighbors on Friday night, and they were actually telling us, you may not realize it, but we rent out our basement from time to time. I had no clue. So if you've got that extra space for them, they had 4 kids who are now all grown and don't live at home. If you've got that extra space, go for it. I would actually love it. I'm just going to go hang out in their basement for a little while. Maybe I won't tell anyone where I've gone. But it is a great way for you to make a little side money. Now, before you do that, you need to do some hunting. Make sure that you're good. I know there are a lot of communities that are making some laws and regulations against Airbnb and VRBOs, so make sure that you're not in one of those areas. But it is a great way to use some extra space. I have a sweet friend who lives in Boone, North Carolina, and rents out her basement as well. And you're in the mountains. So if you've got a great house with an amazing view, or you live out in the woods, let people enjoy your beauty, and you get a little bit of money towards your mortgage payment as they come and they hang with you for that time. So it's something to look into. It's very simple to get started with both of those. If you go to Airbnb.com or VRBO.com, they actually have a button that says, do you want to be a vacation rental owner? And you can start listing your space. So it's very easy to get started. And it doesn't hurt to list it and see if somebody wants to stay there. Think outside the box too. If you live in Augusta, for example, Georgia, you should be an Airbnb and VRBO owner every April, and let people pay you thousands of dollars to stay in your house. You go to the beach and pay like $500, you're still coming out ahead, and someone else dealt with the traffic around the Masters instead of you dealing with the traffic. So, think about things that happen in your community. You don't have to be a vacation rental owner all year long. I could just rent out my house literally for these key events that might be happening in your area or your basement, just an extra room, and you take advantage of the fact that hotels are going to be sold out and that people just want a place to stay there. So, just giving you some ideas. And yeah, my husband's chiming into me and saying it helps too if you happen to also have Masters tickets to rent with your house. But we're going to assume they're going to handle their own tickets. You'll figure it out. But it is a great way to make a little bit of extra money. Another one that is there that you may not realize, and this is one I didn't click through the link to check. I'm going to click through it and hopefully it's going to load. Yes, so you can be an audiobook narrator. I've shared this one in the past, and I have had some of you guys take me up on it and actually do it. So I think that's super, super fun. There are audiobooks here. You create a profile, you upload a sample, and you kind of get connected with books and you read them, and you get paid to be an audiobook reader. Now, if you've already been told that no one wants to listen to your voice, then maybe this one isn't for you. But I bet a lot of us could do this, and it's an easy way to make some money and get to read some books, because that's really what you're doing, just getting paid to read them out loud. Super fun, easy side job. On that note, I mentioned, this book that I grabbed off of Etsy, but it is actually really easy to publish your own books. And Amazon has done this. You can self-publish just write a book. And they actually walk you through the process in terms of formatting it and getting it ready for print. And this one, I mean, really, this lady did an awesome job. This is well put together. You don't even have to be that fancy. She's writing curriculum, but let's say you just have a fictional book. You want to try writing a book, do it. My father-in-law, I think, has now written 3 books. I don't know if he sold any, but he loves it. It's become his hobby. It's not necessarily there for him to make money, but he absolutely loves sitting down and writing them. And you can buy them on Amazon. So, it's super easy. It costs you nothing to post a book to Amazon to sell, so no upfront costs. You just had to sit down and write it. So very easy to self-publish in today's world and have a little side income if you've got a great topic or great book that you're self-publishing. And this is another one too, before I move on that topic, that would be awesome for your teenagers. I actually just finished reading an ebook, rereading it because I loved the ebook the first time I read it a few years ago. And when I reread it, the beginning page actually said, this book I first wrote when I was 13. And I've re-edited it. It's been published by Bethany House, which is, one of the leading Christian fiction publishers that are out there. But this kid wrote it as a teenager. Well, your kids could do that same thing. So if you've got kids that are super creative, let them write some fiction and get it published by themselves, self-publishing to Amazon and selling them as ebooks. It's super easy to do. And they get to enjoy the fact that they are a published author as well. Not to mention it can go on their college resumes that they have done that and published, self-published ebooks. But a great way to get a little extra. Okay. And Shannon's chiming in and saying that business vehicle insurance is actually cheaper for them. They were self-insured, had to let our insurance agent know how much we drive personally and how much we drive business, but it may be worth looking at your agent, getting your agent to look into that for you. That's awesome, Shannon. Thanks for chiming in on that for folks. If you're using your car for business, it should be covered under a business policy, so it makes it a little safer for you too to make sure you have the right one. And the audio narrator, Stephanie, we just stuck it in a link. So if you'll look back on the comments, you should see it, but it's called acx.com. That's the name of this site that I just had pulled up. So acx.com, it's really a sub category of Amazon. But they will walk you through how to get started. I don't know if you end up at their homepage, if you'll end up here. So you probably do want to scroll up and find that link to directly to this Start Your Audiobook Career. But again, it takes nothing to get started. Maybe people hate your voice, but it took you 20 minutes to get a sample posted and see if something becomes of it. Still kind of fun if something did. Okay, one other option here, and we've hit a lot, and there's obviously way more that we could hit, and I mentioned that as we got started, like this could be as big or as little as you want it to be. But one option that is there is clinical trials and doing clinical trials. So clinicaltrials.gov is your resource here. Clinical trials do pay for you to do them. Not every single one of them, but they are generally funded trials. So it could be a way, if you're willing to be a guinea pig, that you can earn some revenue from this. I know I saw a news article of a man who has now gotten every single COVID vaccine, so Pfizer, Moderna, and the Johnson & Johnson. Like, go for it, dude. But he's made a lot of money to do that. It's up to you. But there's a lot more here than just vaccines too. So it could be something to look into. Another way to look into this too would be not necessarily from the clinical trials standpoint, but as we were talking about surveys, there are actually survey companies that are based entirely looking for rare disease patients. So if you do have some medical issues, looking to see if there are surveys that are out specifically looking for you. And those clinical trials could also be in that boat, that you may actually qualify for these trials because you have diabetes or another condition, some of them rare conditions, and they're really having to hunt for the folks that need them, but you're going to get paid to be part of that trial as well. Now, keep in mind, you could be in the group that's getting the medication, or you could be in the group that's getting the placebos, but you're still earning some revenue behind that and helping science. If this is something you're struggling with, that's pretty awesome too, because in the end, the hope is that long term, even if you are in the placebo group, that you would then be able to take advantage of it when it became actually cleared for everybody. Okay. And then let's see, I'm trying to make sure we've hit everything. Oh, another one. As we talked to Airbnb, I'm looking over my list and missed this one. I actually just saw this in a news article too, that RV rentals are booming right now. So if you have an RV, a trailer, a motorhome, whatever it is, you can rent it out and make some good money. So if it's just sitting in your yard and earning nothing, you could completely be earning something there. If this scares you, I get it. We have an old travel trailer. It scares me, the idea of somebody that has never camped before trying to do that. A lot of these actually have the ability for you to say, you know what, tell me where you want it, and I will bring it where you want it, and you actually charge them a delivery fee. Perfect. So you bring it where they want it, you set it up for them, and they just come and stay there. I mean, how much easier is that? I don't even have to worry about you trying to tow my camper. I'm going to put it where you want it, and you're not going to move it. Is great. You're not going to be able to break it. Ours is like older than most of our children, so I would be concerned that you would break it. But I can probably handle the I'll take it and park it for you. A lot of these RV rentals are also paying the amount that you would normally pay to stay in a hotel, which is hilarious but great. So if your RV is just sitting in your yard, you're talking about an easy $100 to $150 a night that these folks are going to pay. Now, obviously, they're going to pay more if you're going to give them the ability to move it and to be a real camper traveling around and seeing other things, but you can still get some revenue even if you don't want them to move it. So just think outside the box there for that one too. RV Share is one of those. There's a lot of, well, there's not a lot, but there's 3 or 4 different companies that do RV rentals. So just Google it and you'll see all of them pop up in ads, probably at the top of Google. And then you can go hunting to see which one you would want to list with, or if you want to list with more than one as just an option. See what you could earn from that RV you already own, you're already paying insurance on and everything else. Putting it to use and getting a little bit back, it's never a problem. Okay, random questions. Do pet stores take coupons, and do I cover any? So Paige, yes, they do. Petco, PetSmart, they all take manufacturer's coupons. A lot of them will also take each other's coupons. So if you have PetSmart coupons, Petco will take them, etc. It never hurts to ask, even if it's somewhere that's not normal. And they also offer their own store coupons. So make sure you've signed up for the Petco Pals rewards. And I can't even think of what PetSmart's is right now, so that you can earn back those bonus options and get the discounts in the store. I don't specifically cover any lists for them, but when we see deals for them, I do try to share them. So for example, last week, it may still be running through the 30th, Petco is offering 10% off of all gift cards. In other words, you buy a $50 gift card and you're going to pay $45 for the gift card. So it's not in a bonus gift card, it's actually just less that you're going to pay, which is pretty sweet. So whenever we see deals like that or sales that they're running, I do try to share them. But they do take coupons. So if you're trying to get some deals on some pet deals, there are some to be had. Little Turtle's chiming in with tasting testers. So is this a company or a question? I wouldn't mind being a tasting tester, but we can. I'm not going to try to Google it and kill my internet, but that might be one that we can all try. So if that's one that you have tried, feel free to give me a little bit more on that one, Little Turtle, and I'll gladly share it with everybody too. Okay, I think that we've hit a lot tonight. We've gone through a lot of your questions, and hopefully we've answered them all. We haven't missed it. And can you get the Petco deal? So Paige, I will send you a Facebook message as soon as we are done. I posted this one to Southern Savers last week, but I'll dig up the post and see if it's still running. But if you go to Petco's site, really, and you click on e-gift card, you'll see it once you load the e-gift card page. If it's still running, it was a little bar that was at the top of the actual page to buy the e-gift card, not like the Petco page, but where it sends you to buy the gift card. That's where it mentioned the 10% discount. You'll also find discounts on pet store gift cards if you head to Kroger or you've got a grocery store that's offering fuel savings when you buy gift cards. Grab some pet store gift cards there, whichever one you're shopping at. and get some discounts on your gas at the same time. So lots of options. Penny, great question. What about selling your stockpile? So Penny, this is a little bit of a soapbox one for me. I'm not a fan. I do know that there are folks that do it. I would encourage you to more think outside the box and become like a personal shopper for folks. There are so many people who will tell me, oh, I do not have time for that. I would love to save money, but I don't have time for that. Or all the folks who are like, oh, I need to figure that out. But they've said that for like the last 5 years. So offer them like, hey, you know what? If you tell me the brands you love, I'll find you deals for it. And you just upcharge them a little bit for your time. That's awesome to me. Selling your stockpile, this becomes an issue on a few different levels that I'm not a fan of. The biggest one being that a lot of folks that get heavy into that, they're clearing the shelves and they're making it really hard for those of us who just want one or two to make the deals work. And in all honesty, a lot of those folks are the reason that so many of our coupons are now limit 1 and limit 2, which is kind of frustrating. So we're not going to go there. It does quickly become a soapbox for me, but you can think outside the box in a way that you could use your, your couponing skills to help other people that you know, to help friends that you know, help their budget. You're going to save them a ton of money, and you're getting some money too on the side. So I've had a lot of folks even tell me, I'll pay you to shop for me. Like, great. I'll grab the deals and you pay me a percentage of it. That's how you could work this. Okay, so hopefully that has answered a lot of questions tonight. We've hit a lot of things. If you're curious on other topics, we've actually posted this in the past. So 22 ways to make extra money. If you hunt for that one on Southern Savers, you'll see all of these things mentioned, plus some others that we didn't get to tonight. And if you've got other tips, feel free to keep chiming them in, leave more comments, send me an email, send me a Facebook message with other ways that you've made money. I would love to share it. I actually put a Facebook post up or question up late last week. If you've got a funny way or an interesting way that you've saved money, I'm cool with it being a way that you've made money. I would like to start to feature those in little stories, little snippets on the site, because folks are always looking for more ways to save or how to save on something specific. So if you've got some of those, I would love to hear what they are. I'm actually going to ask you to do some of the legwork and, sending me a snippet and writing it once we get to that part. But just send me a note, send me a Facebook message or an email. Tell me what your idea is, and I'd love to share it. So thanks for watching tonight, guys. We will be back next Monday night as well. I know next Monday night is technically July 4th observed, but it isn't July 4th. So we'll be here, same time, 8:30. I will be back tomorrow for drugstores at 11. That is our time for this summer. There's a lot of deals. I'm actually still typing up all the CVS deals that I got today. I've got all the Walgreens deals in. So if you're curious and you want to get a head start, Walgreens month-long deals are already on the Walgreens list on Southern Savers. But we'll go through the highlights tomorrow at 11. So if you can't catch it live, just catch it after the fact. You head to the store to grab the deals this week. So hopefully this has helped you guys. Thanks for joining in tonight. If you've got extra questions or extra comments, I will try to keep tabs on the comments, but you can always send me a Facebook message or an email, jenny@southernsavers.com. So thanks again for